Okay. Uh, Hello. Oh, I can hear me. Okay, great. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 anay, ay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, 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 anay, ay, ay, anay, ananay. Ananay, ay, anay, ay, anay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 anay, ananay, ay, nay, ay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ananay, ananay, anay, ay, anay, ananay. Ay, ay, ay. Shabbat shalom. I love starting Shabbat with that nigun. The words to that nigun are I ani. Am I alive? With a question. Hi ani. And then hi ani with an exclamation mark. I am alive. And so we are this Shabbat. And thank God we're gifted a neshama yetera that comes in at some point this evening to help us feel even more alive on Shabbat, to be able to celebrate, to be able to rest, and to be able to enjoy this amazing creation of which we are a part. So, Shabbat Shalom. I invite you to join me as we rise to light the candles. Feel free to come forward towards the bima or to stand from where you are. This sweet liminal moment of Shabbat, where it is Oops. The edge of the week. We just take a moment to intentionally leave whatever it is that we don't want to bring with us, whatever it is that is weighing us down from the week. We can leave it outside. We do not have to bring it in. The fire serves as a protection to keep out that which we don't want to come in. And after we light the candles, we have the tradition of taking a moment of gratitude, just standing with our eyes covered in that not yet Shabbat, but not still the week moment of sending blessing to our loved ones, sending joy out into the world. So I invite you to bless these lights with me. O Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation. We've taken the light of the Shabbat candles 3 times as we sing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Eloheinu melech haolam. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We take a moment to breathe in the liminality. And as we uncover our eyes and transition into Shabbat, we wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Or as I would say with the kids, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. So we turn to page 2 as we jump into the mythology of our tradition that teaches us that Shabbat and the rest of the week are really lovers. And they spend the whole week separated and yearning for each other, yearning to be reconnected. So we tap into our inner yearnings in order to give voice to the words of Yedid Nefesh. What are those things for which you are yearning in this moment? Or what are some things that you can recall from the week that you remember yearning for, waiting for, and finally having them come to fruition? That's the energy that we tap into for Yedid Nefesh. And I invite you to join me in singing, alternating in Hebrew and in English. Yai, yai, dai, dai, yai, yai, ay, 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 page 2. Yedid Nefesh Av Harachamai משוך עבדך אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל, ישתחווה אל מול הדרך. ירב לו ידידותך מנופת צור וכל טעם. How splendid is your light, which worlds do reflect. My soul is worn from craving for your love's delight. Please, good God, do heal her and show to her your face. My soul can see you and bathe in your grace. There she will find strength and healing in this sight. Her joy will be complete, then eternal her delight. Vatik Yemuna Rachamecha Vechusana al ben ahuvecha. Ki ze kama נחשפתי לראות בתפארת עוזך. אלה חמדה ליבי וחוסנה ואל תתעלה. Help my lover spread your canopy of peace, enfold all human beings, give all pain surcease. Your presence on this earth plane do make known to us, and we shall respond with song and with dance. Rush, my love, be quick. The time for love is now. Let your gentle favor grace us as of old. Yanadai, 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 ya da 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 ya 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 da 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 ya da 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 ya da ya da 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 ya 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 da 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 ya 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 ya. Ay, 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 ya, da, 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 ay, 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 ya, da, da, ay, 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 ya, na, na, ay, 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 ay. Ya da 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 ya 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 da na ya 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 da na ya 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 na na ya 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 na na ya 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 na na ya 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 ya. Building off the yearning energy of connecting the week and Shabbat, we think back to the furthest day from Shabbat, last Sunday. And as we work to draw Shabbat and her love the week closer, we lift up one spark, one thing to bring that Shabbat closer, one joy that we can carry with us forward into this Shabbat. So as we take a moment to reflect on last Sunday, what is one spark, one joy that you can lift up that you would like to bring with you and offer to this Shabbat? We continue on page 3 with Psalm 95. Rachel, can you turn the volume down just a little bit? Let's see how that sounds. I think that's good. Can you still hear me? And people at home can still hear okay? Looks like. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Bill. Okay. Let's sing. L'chuna ranana. L'chuna ranana la Adonai naria litzor yishenu. L'chuna ranana la Adonai naria litzor yishenu. Nekadma fana betoda bizmirot narialo. Nekadma fana betoda bizmirot narialo. L'chuna ranana la Adonai naria litzor yishenu. L'chuna ranana la Adonai naria litzor yishenu. Nekadma fanav bitoda bizmirot narialo. Nekadma fanav bitoda bizmirot narialo. And as we recall our ancestors and the journey of in Mitzrayim, in Egypt, they began in this week's Torah portion. The psalmist writes, "Let us humble ourselves before you, bend the knee before our Creator. Yod-Heh Vav-Heh, Yah is our God, and we graze under God's care in God's pasture. Today, if you listen to God's voice, do not harden your hearts as at Meribah, as at the time of Massah during our desert journey. When your ancestors challenged me, put me to the test and saw what I could do. For 40 years, I quarreled with that generation and said, they are a people who err in their heart, and they do not esteem my ways. Therefore, I swore in my fury that they should not enter into the comfort of my tranquility. So we continue moving towards the comfort of tranquility that Shabbat has to offer. We turn to page 5 of Psalm 96, and we reflect on Yom Sheni, on Monday, remembering one moment of joy that we want to bring forward into Shabbat from that day. Let's sing together a new song, as it says on page 5, Psalm 96. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, basru miyom leyom Yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim nifleotav. Ki gadol Adonai, hulal meod, norahu, al kol Elohim, ay, kol Elohe ha'amim elelim, ba'Adonai shemayim asa. Hod v'hadar lefanav oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, havul Adonai mishpechot amim, havul Adonai kavod va'oz, havul Adonai kevod shemo. Mincha uvolech atzrotav, ay, hishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, chilu mipanav kol haaretz, imru v'goyim Adonai malach, aftikon tevel bal timot, yadinamim במשרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, ay, אז ירננו כל הצייר לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, בימים באמונתו ינאי, ay, As we think about Yom Shlishi, Tuesday, moving closer and closer, what's a moment of joy from Tuesday? And because twice on that day, God, the Creator God, said it was good, we can pull two good things from Tuesday that we want to bring forward into Shabbat. Hmm. On page 6, we're reminded, Or Zarua la Tzaddik, Yishrei Lev Simcha, that light is sown for the tzaddik, for the righteous, and for those who are upright of heart. Their gift, their reward is joy. Let's sing. Or Zarua, let's adi, Ulishrei, Ulishrei Simcha. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Or Zarua, let's tzaddik, ulishrei, ulishrei lev, simcha. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Or Zarua, let's tzaddik, ulishrei, ulishrei lev, simcha. On to Yom Revi'i, Wednesday. Wednesday is the busiest day in this building. The whole building is vibrating with young children running around. We could even just lift up Wednesday. But what's a moment from your Wednesday? A moment of joy that you want to remember and bring forward. To sing On page 8 of Psalm 98. We're singing out with the aid of the harp in our minds and with our melodious voices. So let's all sing. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, bechatzrotzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Again. Zamru Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, bechatzrotzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yiram hayam umlo, tevel veyoshveva, aneharot imcha uchaf, yachad harim yeraneinu. Yiram hayam umlo, tevel veyoshveva, aneharot imcha uchaf, yachad harim yeraneinu. Lifnei Adonai kiva, lishpat haaretz, yishpat hevel betzedek, ve'amim b'mesharim. Yiram hayam umlo, tevel veyoshveva, aneharot imcha uchaf, yachad harim yeraneinu. Yom Chamishi, Thursday, like 24 hours ago, yesterday. What's a moment of joy that you want to capture from yesterday and bring forward into this Shabbat? In the middle of page 9, Psalm 99. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu romemu Adonai Eloheinu veishtachavu lehar kodsho romemu Adonai Eloheinu veishtachavu lehar kodsho. Yom HaShishi, Friday. Thinking back up until the moment you walked in this building, up until you came in the doors. What's a moment of joy from Yom HaShishi, from the sixth day that you want to bring into Shabbat? On page 10, we have the tradition of standing for Psalm 29 because it mirrors the Amidah with the mentions of the word kol. But I think we stand so that it's easier for us to dance because it's the weekend and it's Shabbat and we're ready to celebrate. So I invite you to stand if you're able for Psalm 29 on page 10. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Eli, Havul Adonai, Kavod va'ozai, Havul Adonai, Kevod shemo hishtachavul Adonai, V'hadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim Adonai al maim rabim Kol Adonai b'koach ay, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Levanon, Sirion, כמו בן רעמים, ay, כל אדוני חוצב לחבוט אש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול אלי עלות. Vayechesov Ye'arot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod ay Adonai Lama bul yashav vayeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai os le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Ay. I, 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 Let's let's sit back down. Sit back down. Ah, we've done this sacred task of, mythologically and metaphorically reuniting Shabbat and the week, bringing the two lovers close again. And so here we are on page 12 with Lecha Dodi. We get to be witnesses to this amazing union that happens, this amazing, coming together of Shabbos and the week. And it's like we're all just guests at this wedding, bringing the gifts that we went through our weeks, those moments of joy that we lifted up. Those are the gifts. The rice that we throw, I don't know what people throw at weddings these days, the flowers, whatever. That's what we've brought to greet the Shabbat bride. So we'll sing through Lecha Dodi with all of the joy that we would have at a wedding of our beloved friend. And at the end, for the last stanza, it is our custom to go outside, to get up and walk outside the sanctuary. And we do that for two reasons. We do that, one, to bring Shabbat out into the world, because I believe that Shabbat is the best gift that the Jewish people has to offer the world. It's incredibly radical to check out for a day, but also to go out and to bring Shabbat in, right? Because it needs to be brought in. And we don't live in a world separate from what's on the outside. We live very present with what's around us, and we welcome it in. So let's sing. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela Shamor vezachor bedibor echad Hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad L'shemo l'tiferet ve'letila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha Hihi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kum mitzei mitoch hafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu yachamol alai chemla Lecha Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela Ay, 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 lecha dodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekavela, hitnari me'afar kumi, livshi big day tifartechami, al yad ben Yishai beit halachmi, korva el nafshi ge'ala, lecha dodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekavela, ay, 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 lecha dodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela, hitoreri, hitoreri, hiva orech kumi ori, uri, ori, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alaich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela, ay, 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 lecha dodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat, nekabela, lo tevoshi velo tekalmi, ma tishtochachi ומה תמי בך יחסו אני עמי ונבנתה עיר על תילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה והיו למשישה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס לב באהבה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידי בארצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela boy v'shat teret bala gam besimcha uv'tola to'emuneh kula bo lech dodi likratala B'nei Shabbat nekabela lech likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela ay and ay 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 and ay 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 and ay 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 and ay 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 na 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 ay ay and ay 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 and ay 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 and ay 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 So I love to, oops, where'd my water go? Where'd I put it? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I forgot to fill it up. Rachel, can I bother you to, to grab my water bottle? Either Rachel. It's by the water bottle. Thank you. I love to say that this is the moment. Of course, in our tradition, there's a machloket. There's a disagreement because there's a machloket about everything. There's no consensus. But the question of when does our neshama yetera come in? When does our, thank you, when does our additional soul join us to celebrate Shabbat? Thank you. And I feel like it's always this moment after Lecha Dodi, when we've stood and we've welcomed and we've greeted and we've reflected. And now it feels like there's a shift into Shabbat. So we continue now on page 15 with our psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot La'Yah ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי גיון בכינור, Ki simchtani Adonai b'folecha b'maaseh yadecha aranen magadlu maasecha ya me'odam kumachshevotecha magadlu maasecha ya me'odam kumachshevotecha. And the psalm continues to say that when we look out on the world around us and we see what seems like evil prospering and we wonder how can this be in God's world? Where is God? How is God letting all of these things happen? It's to remind us that then we tend to see these things blowing up and these grand plans falling through because they are designed by humanity, designed by the human mind, with human greed and human desires at the center, and not God and not unity at the center, as is the goal and the mission of humanity, to be creative and connective and not destructive and divisive. And so we sing at the bottom of page 15, Sadiq Katamar, as a reminder that the righteous will blossom like the palm tree. Sadiq Katamar Yifrach Ke'erez Balvanon Yizgei Shetuli Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvon beseva Deshenim verananim iyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai Zuri velo avlatabo. Let's read together on page 16 in the spirit of Psalm 93, a contemporary Tehillah right in the middle. We thank you, O God, for your gift of Shabbat, for the home in which we observe it, and for the dear ones with whom we share it. May the joy of Shabbat gladden our hearts, and may its peace quiet our spirits. As we observe Shabbat together, may we understand its meaning and capture its mood. Bring us closer to one another in love, with laughter and soft words, with shared concerns and mutual respect. Help us make our home a sanctuary, warmed by reverence, adorned by tradition, with family bonds that are strong and enduring, based on truth, trust, and faithfulness. Keep us far from strife and anger. May we be spared shame and reproach. Help us so to live in the week ahead, that you may look upon all we have done and find it good and worthy of your blessing. So we continue with Chatzi Kaddish, page 17. And I invite those who are in mourning to say Mourner's Kaddish here on page 17. Amen. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mavarach Leolam Elonei Almaya. Richu. Amen. 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 In a moment, we'll transition into Mariv. So I invite you to rise if you're able for Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu on page 19. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. You can be seated. We continue with our evening prayers on page 20. Excuse me, page 19. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech Mavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hamari v'ravi. Let's sing on page 20 about God's everlasting love. Avat olam Beit Yisrael amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu u'bekumeinu Nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu. Vahem neger yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Vavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Continue silently on page 22 and 23. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. So as we welcome this Shabbat of Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, the weekend that celebrates his birthday, we are here at Mi Chamocha, which is our Shir Geula, our song of redemption. And this is our story of freedom that we remember, the story of freedom that really is the archetypal story of freedom, right? That there is some greed, some power that wants to be in control, that doesn't value human life, that seeks to be in control and to use humans to their will. And the story of Mi Chamocha, the story of Shemot, the book that we are beginning this week's Torah portion, the story of justice and freedom is that can't stand in a world where God is put at the center. And Dr. King said the arc of justice is long. The arc of justice is long and it bends towards justice, right? So especially here at TBZ, we are constantly in the struggle. We are always doing the work. Our dedicated Tikkun Olam group is always creating opportunities for us to do just that, to letaken et haolam, to repair the world, to see it in its reality, and to do something to make it better, to make other people's lives better. So in celebration of our own redemption from Mitzrayim, from our own straits, in gratitude for the African-American story, Livriut, bless you, of the African-American story in our country, and in hope that this freedom should be for all peoples, that they should all get to experience this miracle that we sing about Here in Mi Chamocha, we lift our voices in song and sing. Umalchuto baratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uMiriam u'bnei Yisrael lecha anu shira v'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot Osefele Malchutacha Rauvanecha Bokei Ayam Lifnei Moshe Ze Eli Anu Ve'ameru Adonai Yimloch Leolam Va'ed Ve'nemar Kifada Adonai et Yaakov Ugealo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gaal Yisrael. Let us ask for peace on page 26. Let's pray together. Cause us, eternal our God, to lie down for well-being and help us arise, our ruler to life. Spread over us the shelter of your well-being and fix in us good counsel in your presence. Save us for the sake of your name and shield us. Keep far from us enmity, illness, strife, hunger, and fear. Keep oppressors from confronting or pursuing us. Let us be covered by the shadow of your wings, for you are our protector and helper. Mercy and compassion is your rule. Guard our going out and our coming in for life and for well-being from this time forth and forever. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, al kol amo Yisrael, al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol haolam. You're able to rise on page 27 for our reminder of Shabbat. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ay, 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 beini uven b'nei Yisrael ot olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashevi'i Shavat vayinafash. So as is our tradition when we break for the silent prayer, for the standing Amidah, we have our two faith quilts that have been charging our sanctuary for the last 18 years. Chesed, which is loving kindness, and Gevura, which is boundary and restraint. And of course, then the central channel here is Tiferet, which is that balance between knowing when to give and when to turn off the spigot and say, no, not right now. So if you need some more chesed in your life, in your week, I invite you to offer your Amidah more towards this side. If you need more gevura, more balance, more restraint in your life, feel free to dive in this way. And if you're looking for that balance, I invite you to fill the center of our sanctuary. And we'll come back together shortly in song. The Amidah starts on page 29, and I invite you to join in for the Kaddish before. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה בריחו, לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דעה מהירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. You're still davening. Feel free to continue. Take your time. Yehi Beratson Imri Region Lefanecha Adonai Tsuri Vegoali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O Yah. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru amen. So Shabbat Shalom. I wanted to share some words that I actually wrote a couple of years ago, and I revisited them this year. And I wrote them in January of 2020. It was a very different time. So looking through them, I've sort of tweaked them as I was reflecting on like where are we and how are we to act in this what feels like a new world. We've learned so much over the years about ourselves, about our country, about other people. So I offer these words. First, I before I offer those words, I should introduce my mother. Hi, Mom. You can just give us a wave. um, very excited that she's joining us tonight. Um, so this in 2020, actually it was the end of 2019, demographers projected that non-white children will constitute the majority of children in the United States for the first time. And so I checked on that. And of course it's true. And when I heard that, and when I reread this, my heart leapt out of my chest then and now. It brought to mind the verses from this week's Torah portion, from Parshat Shemot. It says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied. And this, and multiplied and increased abundantly could also be read as they became the majority and they became very strong and the land was filled with them. My great grandmother, Tansy Hawkins, was born into slavery in the early 1860s in South Carolina. My mother has told me stories of her great grandmother, whom she called Nana, how she was always cooking and how she loved the children very much. I think about her often, especially on Friday nights, when I pause to list all of my known ancestors in the Amidah. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. But then Elohei Debbie and Gary, Elohei Nikki and Nathan, Elohei Martha and William, and going back and back as far as I can go until I get to Nana Tansy and Gus. As we recall Yitziat Mitzrayim in the Exodus from Egypt in our prayers, I also recall that there are not many generations between me and the slavery of my ancestors. The story and lessons of Pesach ring in my ears all year long. And I hear the voice of our Torah through the mouths of my enslaved ancestors, reminding me, never go back to Mitzrayim, right? Never supposed to go back to the land of Egypt. And our rabbis have tried to discern the reasons and sources for such a prohibition. But I know that here in America, we are living the answer. The Israelites, when they were released from slavery, left the land, and African Americans stayed behind. And we can't imagine, I certainly can't imagine, that slave owners were suddenly like, I will willingly let you go, source of my financial stability and livelihood. Go. I won't harbor any animosity about the fact that I literally have no idea how to make ends meet without you. And there's a great letter. If you Google letter from a freedman to his former master, it's a fantastic letter of a person saying like, hey, if you come back, I'll let you be free and it'll be great. And the formerly enslaved person writes back, and it's the best letter. It's so great. He's like, oh, that's so wonderful. I don't know what you're talking about. They'll give me freedom because I'm already free. And if we're talking about this, I assume you'll be paying me back wages, which are $11,680 plus interest, but you can deduct for clothing and that time I had to go to the doctor. So, it's amazing to think, about what does it mean to stay in Mitzrayim? What does that mean? Slavery in our country came to an end in name, but the oppression simply morphed into other forms. And we really saw that, when our eyes were opened in 2020 and beyond. And we see this in human trafficking. We learned about this through redlining. Some people experienced it, and the prison industrial complex. We read in the Haggadah that in every generation we're commanded to see ourselves as one leaving Egypt. And this is because slavery wears a different cloak in each generation. And we have to see ourselves. We have to see it for ourselves and understand it in our time in order to help those who are currently stuck in its grasp. We have to remain ever vigilant for those on the margins who are easily made targets and who are being silently and invisibly oppressed. Just this week, reading about how Latinx is no longer allowed in I believe it was in formal papers in Arkansas. It was one of the governor's first declarations. Who are the people that are being silently and slowly ever more oppressed? We can't look away. We have to see our oppression in their oppression. Nana Tanzi's life was recorded in the U.S. Census records. Her race was listed as mulatto, which we don't say anymore, meaning that she was most likely a child born of rape. And I look at my daughter, who would have also been classified as mulatto back then, being that she had a Black parent and a white parent. And these two souls connected by blood. Galia, my daughter, and her great, great, great grandmother, my future and my past, one born of violence and the other born of love. After recounting the growth of the children of Israel, the first chapter of our Parsha continues. A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. And this king said to his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. Come, let us deal harshly with them, lest they multiply. And if we go to war, they join themselves with our enemies and fight against us and leave our land. When I think about this demographic shift that's happened and happening, I continue to worry about the fear that people may have, because it's, as we know, it's the fear that makes people act out. The fear of losing something, the fear of difference, the fear of change, not unlike Pharaoh's fear, that of my daughter and her colorful peers. I worry that people will find new and creative ways to, quote, deal harshly with them. Yet I also feel immense blessing because we're living in a time when more people are seeing, standing up, and speaking out. And this is so true now. Those who have been previously silenced are rising up. And it's so interesting. When I thought about this the first time, I said, people are being given a voice. No, they're not being given anything. People are taking platforms. People are rising up and speaking out. And people have so many allies to fight and advocate with them, for them, and with them. This is a beautiful, beautiful time that we are lucky to live in. I'm also tremendously blessed, of course, to be a part of this community. As I said, constantly fighting the fight for social justice and being a place where my daughter and I'd say all of our children, I hope, I work for it to be true for all of our children, can feel comfortable being who they are in this space, showing up as they are, and seeing representation in the leadership, in the texts that we use, in the music that we bring, that they know that they're Jewish and they belong here at TBZ. We model our values both as Americans and Jews, and we live through those values through our actions. So may we, as Jewish Americans or American Jews, whatever we choose to prioritize, continue to find strength and be encouraged by the ever relevant words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from his 1963 letter from the Birmingham jail. He wrote, "The goal of America is freedom. Abused and scorned though we may be, our destiny is tied up with the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before the pen of Jefferson scratched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. If the inexpressible cruelties of slavery could not stop us, the opposition we now face will surely fail." Written for the African American community, but also for us as we remember our story. If the cruelties of slavery could not stop us, if the cruelties of the Shoah could not stop us, if the cruelties of the Inquisition could not stop us, if the cruelties of the pogroms could not stop us, the opposition we face now will surely fail. The anti-Semitism that's rising now will surely fail. We will win our freedom because the sacred heritage of our nation and the eternal will of God are embodied in our echoing demands. So, with all of that, we turn to Aleinu on page 44, because Aleinu is our reminder that it's on us, Aleinu, right? That it is on us to create, to come together to create the world that we want to live in, the world that we desire for our children, world of equality and justice and equity and all of those things that we're fighting for every day. So I invite you to rise as we recommit ourselves to all of those goals with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו משפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. You can be seated. This week, we remember for a blessing Sarah Altman, Eli Astroff, Joanna Berkman, Sarah Citron, Eugene DeCero, Diana Engel, Anna Fasten, Bernard Maurice Fisher, George Fox, Darylyn Gerhard, Esta Goldstein, Ellen Kagan, Sima Kempner, Madeline Lipschitz, Ida Magins, Avra Magins, Ora Nuria Metalon, Minna Morley, Max Newman, Sheldon Odzi, Marjorie Diana Pomerantz, Meyer Richler, Carl Rosenberg, Morton Simon, Lillian Smith, Charles Spiegel, Annabelle Stickold, Victor Wagner, Shana Frenda Baksh, Max Cohen, Fanny Frank, Leon Frim, Max Gerstein, Dora Goldsmith, Morris Kuriski, Martin Lesberg, Sally Phillips, Esther Pildis, Elizabeth Rutstein, Hinda Miriam Savitz, Joseph Scheinman, Lena Siegel, Bernard Siegel, Rose Silverstone, Bela Singer, David Singer, Jules Solomon, Morris Taritz, Minna Weiner, Francis Weiner, Bessie Molly Wise, Jenny Wise, Max Wolf, and Edward Zanman. If you are in mourning or commemorating a yard site, Mourner's Kaddish is on page 48. Amen. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Omei Maya. Richu. Amen. 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 May their memories be for a blessing. And now I'd like to invite TBZ board member Rachel Goodman for the most holiest part of our service, announcements.
During the service, including Torah reading and the Divrei Torah. So I hope that you will all join us, and because it's going to be wonderful. And then after the services, we'll go downstairs for Kiddush, and during Kiddush, we invite you to join members of our Tikkun Olam committee. We're going to have a special table. And there we are going to be sharing opportunities and information for folks to find out how they can get more involved in social justice here at TBZ. Lots of opportunities. Next week, next Friday night, the 20th is Shabbat Nariah. If you haven't been here before for Shabbat Nariah, I invite you to come. If you've been here before, you know that it's a wonderful, joyous celebration of Shabbat. Also next week, there will be a Kiddush talk by Cindy Kaplan. And this is in honor of the upcoming Jewish Disability Awareness, Acceptance, and Inclusion Month. We welcome TBZ friend Cindy Kaplan for this Kiddush talk. She is recently published a memoir called Free Fall, One Mother's Journey Raising a Child with Special Needs. I'm sure that will be very interesting. Also, on January 22nd and then on the 29th from 2 to 4 p.m., TBZ member Jan Darsa is going to be presenting Colliding Dreams, the history of Zionism as told through the eyes of its inhabitants. This is going to be, there's going to be a showing of the film Colliding Dreams. It's a two-part course, and I encourage you all to attend. And we will bring to the conversation a wide range of Israeli and Palestinian views. Also, on Monday evening, January 23rd from 7:30 to 8:30, join other TBZ members along with mothers out front for a Zoom workshop. And whether you're curious about heat pumps, insulation, tax breaks, or free options, or more things, this workshop, which is, I think the title is something like Decarbonize Your Home, is going to give you lots of information and ability to think about how to improve your, I guess, reduce your carbon footprint. And then on January 26th at 7:30 in person here at TBZ, we are hosting Hadar Boston Nigun Circle with Rabbi Deborah Sachs-Mintz. If you haven't RSVP'd yet, please do so. I would like to thank the other Rachel in the room, Rachel Krause-Grossman, there may be more than one Rachel, for our tech this evening. And then I also want to acknowledge that tomorrow's Kiddush is going to be sponsored by the TBZ Men's Group. And last but not least, please, whenever you come to TBZ, bring vegetarian soup and crackers for our contribution to Family Table. This helps to end food scarcity in our community. And you'll see when you go downstairs, there's special drop-off boxes. One bin says soup, the other bin says crackers. So thank you. And again, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, one more thing. We now have here in the back, right?
On the credential.
Copies of This Is What Never Again looks like, a very brief guide to anti-Semitism that was put together by Truah. I did not know that I was going to be promoting this, but actually last night I had a copy, and before I went to sleep, I read it. It is very brief and it is very good. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to pick one up.
Thank you. And that very brief guide is a follow-up on the session that we had the other night with Rabbi Lev Meyerowitz of Truah. We were supposed to have them beforehand, but they came a little late, but they're here now and still relevant, unfortunately. So feel free to grab one and give it a read. It's a fantastic resource. And all of the programs that Rachel announced are in our spring, late winter and spring booklet, which should have arrived at your homes this week. I am very proud of it. So yes, I'm so glad it's my baby. So yes, hope to see you at other things. So let us conclude our evening with Kiddush and Hamotzi. And as is our custom, you're welcome to come on closer and we'll make Kiddush together. Savri Chavrai. Oh, we can do better than that. Oh my God. Savri Chavrai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemaase vereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu vacharta veotanu kidashta mikol abriot Veshabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. So we connect to the challah. Ooh, oh, it's not open yet. Look at that. Okay. All right. Twice covered. All right. Tuck that over here. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. All right. Let's see. Psalter. Not like the person who wrote the Psalm Psalter, but like a, you know. Let's see. Full of corny jokes. So I'm going to break this up. Feel free to have for yourself a piece of challah. I was in charge of putting out snacks, and I don't think I did such a good job. So have some challah. Shabbat shalom, everyone on Zoom. Shabbat.